is that He created you and created for you, for yourselves, mates, in order that you may find tranquility in them, husbands and wives. And He placed between you, that is, husbands and wives, of affection and mercy. Indeed, in that are signs for people who give thought. And of His signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your languages and your colors. Indeed, in that are signs for those who have knowledge. Dear brothers and sisters and seekers after truth, let us ponder for a moment on these words from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and think for a moment about our beginning. Here in these verses, and mind you, these verses of the Quran are among 6,626 verses in its entirety that was revealed to a man who is illiterate, a man in the desert, a man who never sailed on the sea, a man who never entered a laboratory, who never looked into a stethoscope, a man who never looked into a microscope, a man who never looked into the heavens, who had no idea, a man who could not himself have made these claims. Claims so clear, so profound, that science itself has not contradicted it. What is the first thing? The first statement of the Creator is that He created the heavens and the earth by His word, be. Now, if there was a Big Bang, that was the Big Bang. And He mentioned that He created the heavens and the earth in 6 periods. That means that by His command, from the darkness, from the mass of what we call outer space, where there was no life, where there was no order, where there were no human beings, that Creator brought the gases, brought the masses, brought them together, caused the explosion. And through that explosion, our planetary system came into being, with the sun as its gravitational center. That sun giving the heat, providing the gravity, and carrying the entire family with it in its own orbit within the Milky Way galaxy itself. And the Milky Way galaxy itself only being a cluster of stars among another nebula. And that nebula itself being among billions of clusters of nebula. Yet, on our Earth is the only planet where this kind of life has been discovered. We don't know that there are any other beings that have the intelligence, that can make choices, that can compute, that can manipulate, that can calculate. We don't know of any other beings in the whole heavens and earth except on the earth. And isn't it fantastic that the earth is the 3rd planet from the sun? Had it been the 2nd planet, it would be too hot for life. Had it been the 4th planet, it would be too cold. So Tabarakallah, blessed be the Creator, who knows in proportion, who knows and who has settled and determined the earth and given it its ecosystems in which our life has evolved out of it. So He gave this earth its ecosystems. So He gave this earth a sky, acting as it were a canopy to protect it from stars and missiles from falling inside to kill it and destroy it. And so he gave this earth a carpet with mountains and streams, and placed upon that earth mountains to give it the balance it needs. And he gave that earth all kinds of vegetation. And he gave that earth the majority of its surface water so that it had life to generate other forms of life. And inside those oceans, he placed countless forms of life that we have yet to discover. And he placed inside those mountains gold, ore, diamonds, all kinds of things from which we gain our benefit from. And he placed inside the atmosphere itself what we need just to breathe and live. And from the dirt of the earth, he created the human beings after he created all the other forms of life. This is the decree that has been made in the Quran that was revealed 1424 years ago. This is not Walt Disney. This is not Steven Spielberg. This is the voice of the creator of the heavens and the earth giving you and I some details. And he revealed this to his servant, his illiterate servant, born in the desert 1424 years ago. And then he says that he created us from dust, dirt, a substance from the earth, mixed with water. In one place he calls it nutfa. Nutfa means sperm. In another place he calls it turab. It means dust. In another place he calls it salsalin. It means a mixture of sounding clay. All of these themselves are descriptions of the origin of the human being and his nature. Then in the same verses, what does he say? He says, first, we created you from sperm, and after sperm, made you into a clot of blood clinging to the womb. Now think about that. When was it discovered from a scientific point of view